Hey y'all, a little while ago, maybe a few months ago, someone asked me to break down the ratchet and this arm portion of the Baitrunner. So since I have one in, I'm going to do it, show you how it goes. Just show you guys how it's done. I'm going to start by taking the little clicker off right there. That'll be the last thing I put back on. Just removing that screw. And it's just like that. That was easy enough. Next I'm going to take that screw out right there. Pull that piece off. Let's clean that off quickly so that that doesn't really get in the way. And this, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit here, and I apologize. I'm going to remove this ratchet, and the way to do that is by removing that E-clip on top, and that's a tricky one to do. So I just take my tweezers, and this might take a couple tries, corner them on both ends or both edges of the E-clip, and I'm going to push forward. Doesn't always work on the first shot, kind of got to work at it. Ooh, that went flying. I popped my finger. I'm gonna go grab that E-clip, so give me a second, I'll be right back. Now the truth is that doesn't usually go flying that far that it did this time. But now we're gonna take this piece, the ratchet portion, pick that up, and then take this washer out. So it's kind of how it's gonna sit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove that spring. The way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna put that down like that. Take my tweezers. If that doesn't work, I'll use my my screwdriver, but this should work. Kind of pick that up so it pops out and the tension's taken off of it. I'm going to curve it down and see if I can get that removed, just so we get it out of the way. If not, we'll wait, but I kind of want to get it out of the way right now. That's actually not that hard to come up, except for this one. Alright, there we go. Now we have a freestanding arm here, essentially. We're going to remove this piece here. We're going to pull that up. That may be frozen on there because of this section here. So we're just kind of working getting that off. It's not frozen. Looks pretty good. I'm going to lay it out the way it came out so you see the orientation of it. And now we can take this piece off and push this arm through as well. This piece right here protects that spring and mechanism underneath there. Show you that in a sec. Just be careful you don't pop this node off. There's one on the end here that I'm trying not to damage. This just pops out of the way so we can get that kind of out of the way. I'll show you how that looks in a second. I remember there's a washer on there or something. Okay, so that comes out, and then the last piece we have here is just this arm, and it's attached to a spring. They just kind of raise up off of that post and it comes out like that. You can separate it if you want. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Show you how to put it back in. Okay, so basically the one thing I didn't show you yet was this. There is this ratchet, or dog, excuse me, that sits there kind of facing that direction, and this just sits on top of it, and that shaft goes right through both of those things. Alright, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up since I took it out and come back to you and show you how to put it back together. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put back in is this piece, or these two pieces. They just kind of lay down there, kind of flat in that channel right there. So let me take that back out. I'm going to rest the spring in first. It has a certain look to it, and that's how it's going to sit. So put it over this post on the bottom here. I'll pick it up and show it to you in a sec. Just kind of lay that down. You don't need to put any grease or anything on it. It's going to be sitting on that post at the bottom right there. Now we're going to take our shaft and stick that through. I'm going to add some grease around that. I'm going to kind of get that started. Leave it like that. Stick this on. Over it looking like so. Has to be in a certain position, so we're going to have to rotate the arm to kind of get it in place. Drop that down. Don't worry about that. That'll happen. You want to push that back behind the this piece right here, so it's going to look. See if I can do this so you can see it. I'm pulling that piece down, and then I'm pushing this gold piece down towards the bottom, where it blocks it from going too far over. Now I can take my sleeve here and stick that over it. And it doesn't matter which way you put this in. So like that is good. Make sure it's up. And that's kind of how it will look. Now at this point we could take this ratchet and stick that back in. Am I going to do that for you? Yeah, I think I'll do that first. Get some grease around it, and then I'm going to show you how it sits or is situated in there. I'm going to hold on to this piece so it doesn't drop out. I'm going to drop this through. That grooved end at the top will be facing up, will be above here. Kind of like this from the bottom. Like so. Now we're going to take this washer. I'm going to support this side with my finger and this with my thumb, kind of like that, or my pinky, and just drop that over it. This part becomes a little bit of a challenge because you're going to stick this ratchet on, and then when you do, that'll be kind of getting in the way, but we'll figure that out. The curved or the curved side is the one that faces down. I don't know if you can put both sides either way or put it, you know, if they're reversible. I've only tried it with the curved part being down, so I couldn't tell you if there's any effects to it if you do it the other way. Any negative effects, that is. All I'm doing right now is I'm rotating this to find the groove because it's keyed. Then when I find it, I'll just push it down and move some things out of the way. Right there. So I got it started. It's not set yet. I'm going to pull this down, or sorry, push this up to get that ratchet out of the way, or the dog essentially for this ratchet here. Then I'm going to push this down, kind of like so. Now we're going to kind of work with it to get it up, so we expose that groove or channel that clip is going to go inside, and we've just done that. So now I'm going to take that and pop that back on. The easy way would be to just follow the groove of the I forgot the name of this thing, sorry, of the cylinder here, and then push it on. But either way it's going to be tough. That's kind of the point I was trying to make. But this is definitely easier than doing it from the round end. Alright, so that's set back in place right there. Now we're going to go ahead and take this piece and put that back on. That's going to sit over that little post right there. that's going to rest over that dog right there, kind of like so. This essentially keeps everything down in place. Alright, so I just moved it over so it's easier for me to rest this or raise this up over the dog portion that goes inside this ratchet here. And now I'm going to screw that in place. And now that's set. That can't come up, and now everything's kind of positioned the way it should be. Now we can take this piece, put this back on. Of course, I'm going to add some grease to it. And of course, it's rare that you're going to replace these things, but going through this process, then at least if you have a part here that needs to be replaced, you can do it yourself. Or at least try to. And I'm going to add the spring in here from now. Let me add a little bit of grease to the end of it. Kind of get that through. So they're looking like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, kind of lay it over this shaft, but not put it in place. So looking kind of like that right there, not all the way down. And we're going to keep this spring fairly level. Me doing my fingers is not going to work, so I'm going to use these tweezers. I'm going to support this shaft on the bottom side with my fingers as well, so it doesn't go up and down too much. But we're going to essentially kind of rock that back and forth a little bit to get this position in place. So now it's over that hole. I'm going to try to keep it there. Keep my finger over like that. I'm going to take this, move that away from the edge because it'll get blocked up by this edge right here. Push down slightly, and about halfway down we're going to make sure that this is flat. I'm going to tilt this up kind of like that, and then it'll go inside the hole, which is what it just did, just not fully yet. Then just push it down to secure it, make sure it's all good, and now we can see that that spring is set inside the hole, and this piece is all the way down. So now all I'm going to do here is take this piece, stick it over it, and then just screw it in. The last piece left will be the clicker. Okay, I just drop that in place. That has to go over, one piece has to go over that tab right there, and the screw will be going in the bottom side. So it'll be looking like this. I'll grab it from there and then just drop it over. So when I do this part, which is not that difficult, if you found the video useful, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like videos like this. And I'll finish up for you guys that want to see it. For the rest of you, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. And there you have it. Now it's back installed and ready to use. You can verify it by doing that. And now you're good. There's a ratchet engaging right there. Disengaging, so we're good to go. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you all next time.